Barack Obama announced today that he's going to donate $2 million for a summer's job program in Chicago. And this is a quote for him. He's saying, one of the things that we'll be starting this year is Michelle and I are personally going to donate. This is according to The Hill. Michelle and I are going to donate $2 million to our summer jobs program here in the community. It's so that right away young people can get to work and we can start providing opportunities to all of them. So, yeah, pretty cool. You know, good on you. What, you know, if you're upset about the $400,000, does it make you feel better that he would take that $400,000 and give it to summer programs?
No, not at all. And that's, I mean, my cynical brain immediately went to, well, this is a nice tax write-off for the $65 million book deal that he got. And
yeah,
that's the only thing that I kept thinking. And I know that that's horrible to think because obviously people are going to be helped by this money, regardless of whether or not it was a cynical ploy or not. People are going to be helped by this money.
I mean, but can it not be? I mean, and that's why I keep you around, John. I keep you around to be cynical and evil.
But here's the thing. You know how he could have made up for taking $400,000? Prosecuting a banker. That's the only thing, and that's in the past tense.
I mean, but if it's like for 40 minutes he's robbing, he's giving a 40-minute speech. He's taking $400,000 and he's bundling it up and he's sending it over to it's like Robin Hood in a certain extent.
Sure, but how many more $400,000 speeches is he going to give over the course of his ex-presidency?
Yeah, I mean, had to take a while before he gets up to, you know, how many, is that 5 speeches he has to give to make up that $2 million?
But then is he going to continue to give every dollar that he makes from these speeches? Is he going to?
I mean, he might as well give it, because if he doesn't give it, it's going to go to the government. So, you know, it's a win-win. I mean, that's the whole purpose of the tax write-offs. That's why I don't view this cynically, because, you know, I mean, you're either going to give it to the government or you're going to do something good with it and give it to some type of philanthropic endeavor. You could be like Donald Trump, right? And all of his philanthropic efforts actually just come back to him, right? But this is money that he's actually, this is money that he, yeah, okay, you could throw Hillary in there, but this is money that he's funneling directly, and we have to see how it plays out. We have to see how it's implemented. But this is money going straight to inner city kids and youth program.
Absolutely, and that's probably the part that I think is the best about this. And you know what? If he continues to give Wall Street speeches and every single dime that he makes from those Wall Street speeches goes to inner city youth programs or other charities in need, then you can't really fault him for it. The problem is that every ex-president we've seen since Carter, on the other hand, has been enriching themselves off of these speaking fees and speaking tours and everything else. So the cynical person in me automatically thinks that this is just an aberration for continued behavior.
What behavior is that?
Cashing in on presidency.
I mean, let's have this conversation.
All right.
Shit, you're here. Why not? Let's just have this out. What else is he supposed to do at this point? I mean, everybody wants to hear from him, right? This is the fee that the same speaking agency that Hillary Clinton works for, this is what they've obtained for him. If he drops it down to like 10 grand, I think everybody be like, oh, that's super cheap. Let's all get Barack Obama. So you know what I mean? It's you have to raise the supply and demand, right?
Well, he can decide where he goes. He can decide.
You know, he totally can decide where he goes, but it's also kind of cost prohibitive. There's only going to be so many people who can afford him.
Right, but you're saying if he drops it down to 10 grand, then he can decide where he goes. I think my biggest problem with this is that the first place he goes to give a speech is Cantor Fitzgerald.
Well, it's actually his second speech, and by the time it actually comes around, I think it'll be his third speech.
Okay, well, still, and granted, Cantor Fitzgerald is probably a special case on Wall Street, given how many they lost on 9/11 and what they've done since then. But you've also heard about them suing the airlines and pocketing the money. You've also heard about them receiving lenient settlements from the DOJ. You've also heard about them.
Move a little closer.
You've also heard about them, you know, business practices being slightly shady. So. I don't want to give Cantor Fitzgerald a free pass by any means. But,
no.
You know, they're not Goldman Sachs.
Yeah. Okay. That's the most reasonable I've heard you in all of our conversations, right? So it's not Goldman Sachs, and I don't even have to look at this through the lens of Cantor Fitzgerald, right? Let's just take them out, right? I'm talking about your statement that this is just another move to cash in on the presidency,
yes.
And you know. Let's put it like this. Once I get, let's say 200,000 followers on Twitter, right? And so many X amount of people watching the show, I mean, I can cash in on it. I can go speak and go around the country and do what I mean, what are people supposed to do? They're supposed to work.
You're not crafting policy, and you didn't have your DOJ go especially lenient on what was obviously fraud on numerous institutions that you were set to govern. There's a difference between you cashing in, a difference between me cashing in, and a difference between a president cashing in, especially a president who faced so many problems. And as we've talked about, I mean, bringing in Larry Summers and Tim Geithner into the administration, when that's like asking the crooks to fix the place after they brought it. So, you know, you have to look at everything in context. And by saying that, oh, everyone has the opportunity to cash in equally and everyone should have that opportunity equally.
I'm not necessarily saying, well, I didn't say that, but I don't think I disagree with that either. So finish your thoughts. So
okay, so
you can impute that to me. Go
saying
ahead.
that everyone should have the ability to cash in equally overlooks what government is supposed to do and what someone is supposed to do in government. I mean, we have laws in place to prevent them from cashing in while they are in office. What about, and like, you know, one of the things he was talking about was closing the revolving door when he was running. And that didn't happen. And so
it never happens. I mean, Donald Trump said the same thing, and now it never happens. Here's I think the difference between you and I is that you said there's a thing that the government is supposed to do. I think the government has kind of taken a life of its own and decided this is what we want to do, and this is what they're doing. Barack Obama was a fantastic caretaker of the system that helped him get into office.
Yes.
Right. He was taking money from Wall Street all alone.
Well, that's where we agree. We agree this is not an aberration from who he is.
Right. This is not an aberration from who he is. He did a great job recovering the economy for Wall Street. Right. He did a great job in terms of shoring up the neoliberal institutions that he clearly believes in, because he you know, despite what he said on the campaign trail, he firmly believes in Wall Street because he took money from them and he didn't prosecute a single one of them. I mean,
he raised more money from them than anyone had previously.
Right. So, I mean, the best thing that could come out of this, it would be for him to give some money to the hood, to the streets. Like I don't see how that could be in the framework of everything we know about Barack Obama. Him giving money to $2 million is like, why have any cynical view of that whatsoever?
Because it's a matter of, I think that it's being used right now, especially maybe by his publicist, maybe by whoever, to excuse the behavior. And I think that the behavior itself is problematic outside of whichever president does it. So it's not a matter of Obama. It's not a matter of any president before him doing it. I mean, the behavior itself is problematic. So you can't say like, oh, okay, this is exactly
let's drill down real quick. So, because I want to make sure that I know what you're not saying. I want to make sure the audience knows what you're not saying. You're not saying it's problematic that he's receiving $400,000 for a speech. It's problematic that he's receiving $400,000 for a speech from a Wall Street firm.
From a speech of someone he was regulating and who his Department of Justice could be accused of being lenient upon.
Okay, right. I want to make sure we're clear there. All right, so let's
like
say
if he got $400,000 from Boys and Girl Scouts of America, I really wouldn't have a problem with it.
I would have a problem with that.
Okay.
I would have a problem with that, because why the hell are you taking money from an organization that probably needs that $400,000? Like the banks, they're so awash with money.
So let me get this straight. You're okay because the banks have tons of money.
I mean,
so you're looking at this as a tax after the system.
Take their money and give it away.
Okay, so you're looking at this as a Robin Hood tax.
You know what I'd be pissed. You know who the speech that made me the most upset about Hillary Clinton was when she took it from a public school. Like when she gave a speech at a public university.
Oh, I thought you were going to go into the summer camp.
Yeah, no, like you're taking money from, like, you know how much it costs for people to go to school? It's so, I mean, do not take money from institutions that are hand to mouth. Even if they're not hand to mouth, the people who are affiliated and working for it are hand to mouth. Yeah. To me, I'd have a problem if Barack Obama, I would. If he goes to the Boys and Girls Club of America and takes $400,000 from them, I'd be as mad as you are about him taking money from Wall Street.
Oh, see, I couldn't compare it. I'd say Wall Street by far and away is worse.
Well, I mean, you know what? I mean, here for me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the sense that whether he took this money, he was going to regulate this way anyway. I think that's the part that's missing in the conversation, is that he was an institutionalist all along.
Yes, and
he was going to not prosecute hardly anybody.
Correct. I mean,
he was going to. These are the things that he was going to do anyway. So to me, it's like
let Citigroup decide who his cabinet was.
This is his system. This is his world, right? Yeah. This is where he is. This is what he believes in. So to me, it's like, in that world, if I'm judging him based, it's like me coming. It's like you coming to me and you know, you're not religious, are you?
Not at all. No, okay. I'm an atheist.
You're an atheist. So it's like you being an atheist coming and judging me based on Christianity and making all these kind of like, oh, Ben, you're not a good Christian. Da, 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 da. I'm like, wait a minute. You're not even in this. You're not even over here with me. So like he's a capitalist. He's a neoliberal. He believes in the system. That's his religion. Let him have his religion. Take that money, give it to the streets. That's what I'm saying. But do not take it from the Boys and Girls Club of America, because then we have some serious problem. All right, Chi Trend Chase said, we can't call Orange Buffoon out on filling cabinet with Wall Street, yet say when our guys do it, it's okay. I don't think it did, but nobody did that though.
No, we think it's bad all the way around.
Yeah, no, we told like, you know, this is how I came to terms with who Obama was the fact that he filled his cabinet with Wall Street.
Yeah. And we said that right from the beginning. This is why taking the speeches is not an aberration in behavior for Obama, because
it's just part and parcel of who he is.
Right.
I like it. I like the fact that he's going to donate to 2 million. I think he should donate more.
I think
because
he should donate 65 million.
Yeah, 65 million. You think you're talking about what, the 40%? Well, if Donald Trump's tax plan goes through,
15%, right?
Well, not 15%. I think it drops to 35% for personal. But so even 35% of 60 million is a lot more than 2 million. I don't have the math on top of me, but he should give it all away. Give it all away. Take a 40-minute speech. I would see it as a Robin Hood tax. Just tax the hell out of them and take it and give it to the streets. But do not take it from poor organizations that are not, because they're not poor technically. No. But you know what I mean. Don't take it out of the hands and mouth of programs that could go to kids. Anyway, we could talk about this for another 2 or 3 hours. Let's